Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Tuesday morning. Hope everyone's okay. Hope everyone is all right and they've recovered from deadline day yesterday. Obviously, we're going to be talking about the Matthis Tel deal, the buy option, what it looks like. Is it a good deal? Is it a bad deal? Obviously, we'll be talking about the boys out on loan as well. Do the quick loan roundup, do 2 or 3 minutes on that. We're going to be talking about the window as a whole and what my reflection is of the window and what I sort of sum it up out of a 10, you might say. But also, we're talking about Marc Guehi and Spurs is interested in him. And I think why there was a PR stunt in that and what might happen from here in regards to that deal. I want to say, if you're watching this, you know, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And I want to also say thank you very much to everyone that has subscribed and liked and commented and all the stuff that helps the channel grow. I think in January alone, went up like 200-300 subscribers. So it's pretty damn cool, in my opinion. Little old channel like this, doing as well as it has. I appreciate everyone that has got involved. Morning, Aussie, Adiz, Wizard, Richarlison, Spurs, Inakoma, Sonia, Bazza, Jake, Steampunk, Jazz, Nikhil. How are we all? How are we all? So look, let's start with Mark. Actually, no, do you know what? Yeah, no, we will start at Marc Guehi. I'll do the loan roundup afterwards. I want to start at Marc Guehi. So look, if you were living under a rock and you basically hadn't really found out about the Marc Guehi bid, Spurs offered yesterday, well, within the last few days, but it only came out on deadline day, which was yesterday, that Spurs had made an offer of 70 million. Now, it wasn't 70 million as a whole deal. There was add-ons to make it 70 million. I think it's probably around 50 plus 20 on add-ons. Now, on the face of things, you're thinking, amazing. Spurs made a big money offer for Marc Guehi. They're serious. God, he's so much better than Disassi. He's so much better than all the other defenders we're linked with, and which is right, by the way. He is so much better than all the players that we're linked with, hence why he's so expensive. Plus English tax, 15, 20 million. He's probably a 40 million pound player, but English tax got a whack on another 15, 20, right? With Marc, I really like Marc, by the way. I thought when Glasner took over, he excelled that little bit more. He played then for England in a major tournament and was one of England's best players. So been really impressed with Marc for a little while now. And yeah, homegrown, prem proven, all those things can play out from the back. He's a right threat on the left-hand side, but it doesn't seem to cause many issues. The issue I had with this deal is this wasn't a legit deal. This wasn't a real offer. It was a crap offer, to be honest. I can see why Palace had rejected it. Palace went, you've left us like 2 days before the end of the window to replace what might be our best player. The offer actually isn't as good as you're making out to seem, because it's 50 plus 20 instead of it being like a 60 plus 10. A 60 plus 10 compared to a 50 plus 20 is absolutely miles different. And I was sort of looking at sort of Palace fans and things like that, and they were like, well, we're not going to sell him. We're not going to sell him. But they did say, had that offer come on January 9th, they reckon they'd have sold Marc Guehi. So it wasn't a legit offer. It's a PR spin to make us all believe. I mean, you got to factor in, okay, well, if we can't get Marc for that kind of money, then we should have a bit of money to spend on a centre-back, which we didn't get. So you see what I mean with the issue on that. But look, when we talk about the future and we talk about Marc Guehi, Dave Heitner from The Guardian saying that Spurs will try again in the summer for Marc Guehi. And obviously he'll have a year left on his deal come summertime. You know, people were saying it's the Romero replacement. Not everything has to be pessimistic. Not everything has to be the worst case scenario. It could just be, hey, we want to buy Marc Guehi. It doesn't have to be factored into a player leaving, right? It might. I'm not saying it wouldn't, but I'm just saying let's maybe not live in the absolute miserable world that we all want to live in. How about we just go, oh, he's a good player. I wouldn't mind him at Spurs. Now, if he replaces someone, he replaces someone, but it is what it is, you know. But I like Marc. I think he's a really good player. Obviously, he is a guy in his sort of mid-20s, so you've got plenty of years on Marc before, you know, he's over the hill. So, yeah, I hope we are back into this world come summertime. Obviously, Radu's injury. Radu's out to basically the new year of next year. So we're going to need a centre back in the summer. Now, Vuskovic is back in the summer. He officially joins in the summer. Obviously, Phillips will be back in the summer. Dorrington's back in the summer. Is one of them good enough to take Dragićen's place? Maybe so. Maybe so. We'll see. But yeah. Also, by the way, I think for what I've seen from Spurs fans, their attitude towards Radu Dragićen makes me sick, to be honest. A lot of them were happy he was out injured so we could buy a replacement. It's disgusting. If you're one of those people, just stop supporting Spurs, in my opinion, because that's a horrific thing to say. It's like me celebrating, your family member having a massive injury and going, but it's all right, you can get a new sibling. It's like, what? No, what? Or your friend being hurt. Oh, that's right, you get a new friend. It's like, that's disgusting. It's the same thing about this guy, Yeah, Goldbridge was really happy, wasn't he? You had your rant on Discord. I haven't really opened Discord today as much, to be honest, so I'll have to have a look later on. Quick loan roundup before we then talk about Tel, and then we talk about the window as a whole. We're going to do it quickly. I promise we're going to do it really, really quickly, all right? How many seconds are in? Right, ready, set, go. First up, Leeds United, 7-0 win at home to Cardiff City. Just battered the living hell out of them. Could have been more than 7, if I'm honest. Manor Solomon started and scored in this game. Spoke to my friend who's a Leeds fan. I said, Manor Solomon in the summer. He said, I wouldn't pay any more than 10 to 15 million. I went, I'll take 15 million. Thanks very much. He then scored, and I went, what about 17 and a half? He said, I'll meet you at 16 and a half. And I went, deal. We'll take that as well. Thank you very much. So Manor's having a really good spell at the moment at Leeds. My friend said he's not the best player that we have, but by far not the worst. He's been quite crucial the last few weeks, so good on him. Leyton Orient losing 1-0 at home to Stockport. Not a good game for Leyton Orient. I mean, Donnelly and Keeley both played the full 90. Stockport are above them in the league. Stockport are 4th. Orient are still in the playoff spot right now due to goal difference. They are actually tied with the 3 teams below them, so the league's a bit mental. But, I mean, 8 shots, none on target with 65% possession. I'd be disappointed if I was a Leyton Orient fan. But it's one game. We move on. Girona-flavoured news. 2-1 win for Girona at home to Las Palmas. Brian Hill starting in this game. Girona, 1 point behind Vallecano, which I believe is the Conference League spot at the moment. 6 points behind Villarreal, who are in 5th. Good to see Villarreal good again, by the way. It reminds me of like the early 2000s. So look, good win for them. If I'm honest, they probably just about deserved it, but Brian's having a great season, so great to see. Betis for our boy Cardoso. They drew 2-2 at home to Athletic Bilbao. He came off in the 81st minute. I think that, he's obviously not really long back from an injury. Again, it's one of those ones. A draw is probably the fair result. Athletic Bilbao sitting in 4th, the Champions League spot. Betis down in mid-table in 10th. You're not going to complain about the result. You know what I mean? Stoke winning 2-1 away to Hull City. Ashley Phillips playing the full 90. Ashley Phillips playing a lot of football at the moment. A lot of football. He's improving. And Stoke needed this. This was like a 6-pointer. Hull City are 1 point above the drop. 2 points above the drop. They're only 1 place above the drop, whereas Stoke City were actually level on points with them at the time. So huge win for Stoke City away from home. It just gives them a 5-point gap now to Derby, having Derby lost as well at the weekend. So good on Ashley. Good on the boys down in Stoke. Notts County on a bit of a revival form-wise. They've won 4 of their last 5, sitting in 3rd, which is the automatic promotion spot in League 2. Notts County, obviously, George Abbott, fan favourite down there, playing some unbelievable football down at Notts County. And they've had a real turnaround in form, and now they're only 2 points beyond Doncaster, who are in 2nd, 9 points behind top. Actually, they've got a game in hand on Doncaster. If they win that, they'll go 2nd. They're 2 points ahead of AFC Wimbledon, who are the first place in the playoffs. 2 points clear, but AFC Wimbledon do have a game in hand. Westerlo flavoured news. Westerlo flavoured news. 2 sending offs in this game, 1 for each team. 2-1 win for Westerlo. Vuskovic booked as well in this game. Alfie as well starting. Vucevic had a really good game, by the way. Statistically, I don't have him to hand, but his stats were incredible, and he's probably been one of the best centre backs in the Belgian league. And at the age of 17, how mental is that? At the age of 17, to be one of the best players in the league as a whole, but also as a youngster, it's incredible. And the Belgian league's a really solid league, by the way. It really is. So you know what? Fair play to him. Lancashire hasn't played for West Brom, by the way, just yet. Matthew Craig didn't play. I think there might have been someone else, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So we'll see. We'll see. So there you go. Complete. Loan roundup complete. I did it in 4 minutes. That wasn't too bad. Dorrington. That was the one that I've missed. Thank you. Aberdeen. Let's have a look. Losing 2-0 away to Hibernian. Dorrington starting as well, full 90. Let's have a look at the stats. I mean, they dominated possession, didn't create a lot of opportunities. They had 8 corners to Hibs' 2. That was a big result, really, because Hibs were 5 points behind, now 2 points behind. Aberdeen with a win would have been in third because Dundee United had lost. It's a tough one for Aberdeen. They're having a really good season. I think their form has completely dropped off. I mean, 4 losses in their last 5 with a draw being the other result. They've had a bit of a drop-off, to be honest. So, yeah. But, hey-ho. And, yeah, Yang at QPR looked really, really lively. Fitting in quite well so far at QPR, which is good to see. Buying teammates, kids' presents and things like that. It just, good egg. Absolute good egg. So, there you go. Loan roundup done. I need to... remember to put in QPR in Aberdeen, so I had forgotten, so apologies on that. But yeah, good to see. Good to see. Callum, Michael, Ed, goodbye. Steve, Bobby, how are we all? How are we all? Sorry, I had missed all of your comments. I do apologise. That is on me. Let's talk about Tel and the situation surrounding his buy clause, which, by the way, Goldbridge is fuming about this. Arsenal fans are fuming about this as well, which is like, it's beautiful. It's made me over the bloody moon how annoyed they all are. I mean, Goldbridge went, Tel for 45 million for Spurs. If they want him in the summer, United really effed it. How great is that? You know, it just warms my heart to see other teams, you know, that annoyed by it, you know. But it's amazing. You know, I repeat that the only reason he's coming here is because of Ange Postecoglou. So Ange in, Ange out. The only reason why this boy is coming is because of Ange. Ange called him. Ange explained his project to him. And he then was convinced by the project. So whatever Daniel Levy and Johan Lang said, they absolutely crapped the bed. And yeah, it's down to the manager to do their job as well, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, Florian Plettenberg put it as this. He said, all done and signed. After new talks in the last hour, Spurs have secured an option to buy worth 55 million euros guaranteed plus 5 million euros add-ons. So let's call it 50-ish million pounds. Sounds a lot. It does sound a lot for a guy of that age, right? You know, he's 19. He's very young. He's only recently legal to buy a beer in a pub. But my thing with this is, you actually have a 6-month runway with him. Let's say if he crapped the bed and he's rubbish. All right, back to Bayern you go. What if he turns around and he's half decent? And you think, oh, hang on a second. He's quite good, this Tel, isn't he? He's quite good. You start to go, okay, he's 19, he's young. But 55 million euros, we'll call it 50, let's call it just 50 million pounds in total. You get a 6-month preview at his trajectory. You get a 6-month preview at what he's going to be. And if you think that's a rock star in the waiting, right, here you go, Bayern. Thanks very much, lads. Basically, the Kane money back. Catch you later. You know, it's I mean, it's a cheaper deal than we all thought previously as well. It's a bit cheaper because we thought it was around about 60. It's now around more about 50. He looks happy to be. He looks quite a shy guy from what the videos I've seen. Looks quite shy. And you know what? I don't really care about a player's characteristics off the pitch when it comes to them being a bit shy. As long as on the pitch they're loud. Be on the pitch, you're loud and you're great. That's what I'm here for. And I think he has the ability to do it. I was sort of reading through lots of Bundesliga slash Bayern fan pages and all the responses and things like that. The amount of Bayern fans that are so angry about this deal is actually amazing. Like you are getting the fans of the club that this boy has been playing for, and they are fuming that he is leaving. And he's allowed to leave on loan even, but also not only that, he could be allowed to leave permanently in 6 months' time. I think it's brilliant. I think it's absolutely brilliant. Look, he might flop and he might be rubbish. We never know about signings. Hell, you could bring Harry Kane back and you never know what might happen. It might not work. Obviously, I think it would. Harry Kane is the best striker in the world. But you get my point. You never know until it happens. Nothing in life is a certainty other than death and taxes, you know? But if this guy is good, there's a lot of Bayern fans that say he is really, really good and he's going to be fantastic as a footballer. He's 19. Can you imagine what he's going to be at 23? So I said about Archie Gray. Archie Gray's 18. Can you imagine what Archie Gray is going to be at 21? I'm not even going to say at 25, 26 where he's hitting his prime. Can you imagine just 3 years' time where he's 21? That is absolutely, absolutely incredible. Boy from Lane, how are you? Could you tell me how Goldbridge is feeling? He is. I can tell you very well. He is fuming. Absolutely fuming. By the way, the video to announce him, I really enjoyed. It's a good meme, and I quite enjoyed it. It's quite simple and effective. There's nothing wrong with that. But look, yeah. If you've got fans of other clubs going, oh my God, Spurs have got one here, that should say to you, we might have something here then. All I'm going to say is, as a Spurs fan, I said it about Archie Gray. I said it about Bergvall. I said it about Yang, Vicario. Hell, I said it about every player that we've signed since really doing this channel. Give them a runway. They might have a stinker on their first game. They might not be good for the first few games. Don't use that as your base to say, well, they're rubbish then. I mean, the amount of people that said Vicario is rubbish after the Brentford 2-all game and then went and kept a clean sheet against Manchester United at home and actually had no mistakes leading to goals and things like that. Everyone went, oh, actually, Vicario is actually a good keeper. It's like, yeah, no, he is. You judged him on one game. His Prem debut away from home at a London rival. Not many places harder than that. Now, don't go, Kinski had it difficult, but he did really well. He made a few mistakes. I still think Vic is our number one, but we'll see. I also want to talk about the European squad now, actually, before I talk about the window as a whole. So the European squad situation now is you can now adjust it because you're into the knockouts. You're going to the next phase of the competition. You are now able to adjust your European squad by 3 places. So in our squad right now, who you would think will get removed is Dragisin. He's getting removed from the European squad. You expect Forster to be removed from the European squad as well. And there's one other that's come to mind, and I've completely forgotten who it is. It wouldn't shock me it's Timo Werner. Gibbo, you're right. Cozy, how are you, my friends? Yeah, it wouldn't shock me it's Timo Werner. So if you removed those 3, obviously you still got Vicario in your European squad, by the way. I know we all thought it was just Forster and Austin. Actually, you've still got Vic, who's your number 1, right? I think you don't put Kinski in there, right? You don't put Kinski in there. You put Spence, you put Danso, and you put Tel. You put all 3 in there. That's what I do. Don't worry about Kinski because he can play in the league. It's not like you're losing. I'd say to Kinski, mate, not this season. Your cups, and we're going to give you some league time as well, right? And you said a Vic, European, mate. You're my European boy. Okay. He's cup tied anyway, which helps. But I would say if you're putting in Spence, you put in Tel and Danso. You obviously, Danso's for Radu. Makes sense, right? Forster can come out. You still got Vic, so it's all right. It's not a problem. Take out Forster because you still got Austin, who's a solid keeper. I'm not concerned when Austin plays, right? You can do Werner for Tel. That's an upgrade. Thank you very much. And obviously, then you can just send Werner right, Werner we're going to use more so in cups and league. Tel is going to play week in, week out Europa League football, right? Because you could go, well, Johnson will, and this and that and the other. But you can say that Tel is playing Europa League football every single time. That's the name on the team sheet, right? And then we're going to feature him in and see other competitions. He's going to play way more than he would at Bayern. And then Spence comes in. Simple as that, So I'm happy with that. That would be an upgraded European squad. Obviously, you have more depth at fullback because of Spence being in there now. You still got Davies and Porro, and obviously in the attacking positions, you have another upgraded player than Werner in Matthis Tel, who can play more across the front three than Werner can. I know Danso is obviously the replacement for Dragoshin. Which, to be honest, by the sounds of things, Danso is going to be getting a debut on Thursday night against Liverpool. But we're going to be talking about Liverpool later today. We're not going to be doing it now. All right. Sounds good, Andy. Removal replacement, absolutely. After knock station, would Tel be in the squad because of his age? No. Well, maybe, but. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just not play Werner at all, Martin says. Martin, how are you, my friend? Alfie, no, Whiteman has to stay in because if Whiteman comes out of the squad, you're down even more players. He is an academy-trained player. So he has more value than... Technically, he has more value than Forster, which is hilarious, isn't it? Werner's our players. So can Tel and Danso playing against Liverpool. Look, let Tel, obviously, they need to get paperwork signed, work permit all sorted, which shouldn't be an issue. They will get it sorted, but that does take a bit of time. So I think Tel will be on the bench against Liverpool. I don't think he's going to start if he is available to play. Danso will be cleared, in my opinion, and I think Danso will start against Liverpool. But again, we're going to be talking about that later today. Won't be talking about it now because I want to talk about the window and do the roundup of it so we can move on from it, really. What positions do we need after Tel? Well, we need another centre-back, need a left-back, could do with a midfielder. And also it depends on who's leaving. I expect Basuma to leave, so you're going to have to replace Basuma. Oh, I know Archie Gray, you could factor into that, but if you do, you definitely need to get an 8 in. You could do with maybe potentially another winger because Werner will leave, so you're going to have to replace him. And a centre-back. There you go. Not too bad, that was it. I got through that all quite quickly. So we probably need another 6 or 7 players. Hey, Sean, how are you, my friends? Anyway, let's talk about the window now. On paper, the window, we addressed issues. We addressed the fact that we could do with another keeper. We addressed that. Tick. We addressed the fact that we needed to add in a centre half. Tick. And we addressed the fact that we needed an attacker. Tick. Right. So 3 things on paper. Great. I think we failed though because we didn't get the extra centre back that we needed. We needed a centre back even before Radu got injured. Radu got injured, and then we didn't replace him. So I don't look at Danso as the Radu replacement in the squad. I look at Danso as someone you should have been adding to Radu and the rest of the centre backs. Now it's like, oh, we're just in the exact same position because of Radu's injury. And Radu's not coming back this season. So he's done. He's absolutely done this season. So we obviously now have a situation on our hands where we're back to square one. We're back to square one. Obviously, like I said, 3 people that we needed and good on paper, but it also took till the end of January into early February to sign 2 players. It took over 4.5 weeks, took nearly 5 weeks to sign the 3 players. Two players took such a long time to get in. Kinski was great. Obviously, it was early on in the window and it was brilliant. And we thought, oh, we're off to a good start in the window. We got someone in early doors. Well done, Johan. Well done, Daniel, for getting some business done early doors. It shows that you can do business early doors in this window. And it showed you did a bit of preparation. You did a little bit of a work and graft. And you got someone in early doors. And he helped because he was needed. And he played fantastically when he first came in. But then you did nothing for 4 weeks, which shows actually there probably wasn't enough preparation. There wasn't enough work gone into this January window. And I think actually, I will say, I think the window was still a failure. Obviously, the window can still be affected. We cannot obviously bring players in, but there are still markets that are still open. I think the Turkish markets are out and open still for like another like week or something like that. So there are windows that are still going to be opened. So Spurs may do more business in terms of moving players. But I don't think so. I think what we have done is what we have done, and that's final. But yeah, I still think the window was a failure. I mean, don't buy into the Marc Guehi offer. I think that was PR spin. It happens every single window. Dybala was one of those. Vlahovic we were linked to for a long time. David Villa, Samuel Eto'o. That's going back 15 years. You know, I can go back a very long time to show you all these things, but we've got countless. I mean, countless ways to show you that this is what we do. We do PR spin. Donna and Daniel obviously do some PR spin, try and buy back some good favor from the club. And I don't think they've bought enough than they think. I think we've done all right here. Couple of signs later on the window, vibes are good. We've obviously won at the weekend. You know, I think everyone's going to be in a good mood. And I don't think they truly understand what's happened previous to that. It was the neglect of this squad. It's the neglect of the players that play at this club already to say, we're not going to help you. Oh, we'll help you towards the end of the window where maybe we can get some cheaper deals, but we're not trying to help you right now. And I think people are seeing through it. And I think Daniel Levy is probably going to go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in a couple of weeks' time when we have Manchester United and go, oh, well, you know, the fans should be in a good mood. And he's going to get some levy out chance still. And he's going to go, well, hang on a second, I spent money, I bought players. It's like, Daniel, you took 5 weeks, lad. Had you bought Danso by January 14th, I don't think you'd get as much of a levy out chance. And then if you got Tel towards like the 30th of Jan, you can go 3 players in, 2 players in by the first 2 weeks. This guy's a bit more of a difficult. I can understand that. And you probably get people going, if you think the window is a 5 out of 10, you might be 6.5, 7. You think it's a 6 out of 10, you may be 7, 7.5, 8, you know? So I'm going to do a poll for this because I want to get your views. So out of 10 for the window, I'm going to put 5 and below, 6-7, 8 and above. Okay, so I want to get an idea of what you guys feel and how you feel towards this window, by the way. Because I'm interested to see. I'm probably around a 6, if I'm honest. I'm around a 6, so I'd probably be the middle option. I think the players are good. You know, the players that we've brought in, I'm happy with the players that we brought in. I think for how long a couple of those deals took, it wasn't enough. And then I think the pathetic attempt at PR spin. I mean, I probably was probably a 7 because I like the players we brought in. But then I think due to the PR ability, the PR attempt to spin things by the Marc Guehi offer brought me down from a 7 to a 6 because it's just pathological liars at their work again, you know. And I'm seeing right through it. I hope you are as well. But that, yeah, it's all a lie. It's all a con. It's all a con to buy you back on side to show you that they're trying. But when you do it every window, fans now see through it. They go, here we go. I'm just waiting for the crazy offer. There it is. Marc Guehi, 70 million. It's not going to happen. I know it's Dybala all over again. It's all of those deals where we laugh and joke about it. Even to this day, this is another one. Tel deal, show the recruitment team, and Daniel could not get it done. Only Ange say the transfer. Well, we spent about 20 million on Danso. We spent about 12.5 on Kinski. If you factor in fees and things like that for all of the deals, it's about a 40 million pound spend because obviously you're throwing in the Tel loan option. It's about 40 million ish, right? Sounds good on paper, but Man City spent 4.5 times that alone. That's why that's why the Guehi bid was absolutely full of crap. That we would if they had accepted that, I think Daniel would have gone, Oh, geez. They're going, Daniel, is everything all right? Is it a family member that's, is everything all right at home? He's like, yeah, everything's fine at home. I'm just not going to financially recover. They go, Daniel, did you make some bad investments in your own life? He's like, no, Palace accepted a bid from us. They're like, okay, well, what's the offer? It was 70 million for Marc Guehi. Well, why did you make that? I thought they would reject it. Well, you're an idiot. That's probably what all of the board are saying to him. Yeah, exactly. The Beyonce news is what they really cared about, you know. We were linked with Bastoni. Bastoni's a good shout. Levy would have crapped himself. Palace had accepted it. Tao has the final say whether you can trigger that buy options clause. Yeah, absolutely. Danso won't come out till the summer, though. Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Danso is on the books, but not till the summer. So actually, they've probably spent 17 and a half, maybe 20 million. I'd say about 20 million. 17 half 20, something in there between Tel and Kinski in total. When everyone is back next season, the squad depth isn't too bad. I think now Spurs can shift to buying a couple of top class players. They can, but will they? Do the players coming in and the commitment to buy players for Ange style show they will back him at least? They're backing Ange. They're backing Ange. He's not going anywhere anytime soon. We'll see about Romero. Will everybody come up with some image right issues? Yeah, exactly. Actually, Mark, we really like you, but can we change your name to Gark Mway? And he's like, no, my name's Marc Guehi. He's like, well, the deal's off. Bye. Get in. We got away from Marc Guehi. Get to Sassy on the phone. Let's try and get to Sassy again. He's cheap. How can you make a bid for Guehi, who's captain on the last day and expect? The bid came in a couple of days before deadline day, but was only released to the media because the deal was dead by that point. He had told Guehi to reject us and made sure Ange had no phone connection. I watched the Rising Ballers interview. Danso comes across well. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. Yeah, so I think six out of 10 for me. By the looks of things, people are really between a 5 and a 7 for how they feel about this window. Like, genuinely, I think we all would agree, had, let's say, two of the deals, let's say it's Kinski and Danso, had those deals been done by the 15th of January, so halfway through the window, I think everyone would go, oh, some decent business. And then if Tel was joined by the 30th of January, I think everyone would go, that wasn't too bad, actually. But it's the fact that two players joined in the last 3 days of the window. Everyone's gone, why is it taking so long? That's neglect. And that's the issue. So we shall see about it. I'm going to be talking about Van der Ven later when I do my preview. To give you a heads up on as to when I will be doing my preview, I will be doing for the Liverpool game at about 6 p.m. We're going to wait and see, really. We're going to see really what situation it is with Van der Ven. There is a situation with Van der Ven. He may be not fit. Just going to give you a heads up. It's not been confirmed, but he didn't feel right in training on Saturday, hence why they kept him out. Reports of him needing a surgery are false of the mark right this second. But let's just wait and see about Van der Ven, because there is no news that he's out long-term or anything like that. No one knows anything. So we're just waiting to see, really, from Ange, what he says about Mickey. He's probably not going to say a lot, because obviously you want Liverpool to prepare for the idea that they have to deal with the quickest player in the Premier League so let's see. All right, I'm just going to say, let's just see. Don't get yourself bent out of shape on it just yet, because no one knows anything. All right, like you said, Andy, we only made bids for players. We had leverage with tried to use leverage of the 35% of Edwards for Esteve. Wouldn't shock me. Well, it wouldn't really make much of a difference, to be honest, because that leverage is only really against Lisbon. I said it, didn't I? Something fell off with Van der Ven's situation. Let's hope it's nothing major. Yeah, let's just wait and see. Everyone needs to not get bent out of shape just yet. All right, let's just see. 1 wink he played, 2 wink he is injured. I know nothing. So you can have a double, because that means nothing. I have to get up at 2:45 a.m. Friday morning to watch the game, talk about dedication. Attaboy, Sean. We need Mickey for Liverpool. I feel there's something happening behind the scenes with the club. Big, maybe Levy's selling up. Big wish indeed. Kevin Tiny Danza seems like a good bloke after the interview. Absolutely. The sky's falling with 6 exclamation marks. Good, is it? So we'll see. But look, let's just see. Like I said, don't get yourself bent out of shape about it. The last little bit of news that I want to bring in is from from Jay Harris, who is a Tottenham reporter for The Athletic. Good reporter, actually, as well, by the way. I quite like his stuff on Twitter. He has said signing an elite multifunctional forward is the priority for Spurs this summer. That screams Brian Mbeumo to me. I think Visser would have been something similar, but I think Brian Mbeumo being a few years younger, Spurs will prefer that. Mbeumo is the better player, in my opinion, as well. Can play on the right, can play as a striker if you really needed him to. Hell, you could probably play left wing if you really wanted him to. But yeah, I think Mbeumo is going to be the guy that they want. I mean, Semenyo, you might have Semenyo on that list. I don't know who else right this second, but yeah, Mbeumo gives me the vibe on that. Tiny, that is on something. No, it's Tiny Danza. Tiny Danza. That's a joke. Sesko. Yeah, Sesko. It's not going to be Sesko. It's not going to be Sesko. Adrian Dragon, how are you, mate? Cunha. Could be Cunha. Could be Cunha. He's a solid chap. Good presence. Absolutely. Sound like he didn't play at Brentford. He played at Bournemouth. So it would have been a Semenyo kind of situation. Van der Ven's not out for the season. No one with any real credibility has reported that. Mateta's good. Yeah, I like Mateta. Release clause now. I'll have to check out the release clause and get more information on that situation right now. Harry Kane. I don't know if Spurs. I just think Spurs maybe with Harry, he might be on the bench. Just joking. Someone's going to take that seriously. Anyone else besides Dibbling from Southampton? When Mbeumo's been linked, obviously we got linked to Visser, Semenyo. But yeah, Dibbling's going to be on that list for sure. You're happy you did Sesko delusion. Good on you, lad. But look, let's just wait and see. I'm interested to see what happens if Ange does his presser today or tomorrow. Obviously, if he does it today, it's around lunchtime, but I think it might be tomorrow. I don't actually know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to be really, really interesting, to be honest, because of Mickey, but also it's the update on Tel. It's the update on Danzo. Anyone coming back from injury as well. Obviously, Sarr looked much better at the weekend. Obviously, great goal as well. Obviously, Basuma. I don't think Basuma's 100% fit yet as well, but he's playing through injury because he's playing for Ange. Obviously, Bentacord's there, so Bergval's there. You've got a few midfield options, attacker-wise, Sonny, Richie. Obviously, Moore's played quite a bit of football recently. Is Jono going to be back? I don't think so. Odebear, I think, is still a little way off. Who's going to be back? Scarlett's on the bench. Not too sure, actually. I'm not sure if anyone. I don't think anyone's going to be back for this game, to be honest. I think everyone is still probably another week away, 2 weeks away. So mid-Feb, Valentine's Day, you'll be loving the look of the Spurs bench, hopefully. Would I take Matoma? I like Matoma, but I mean, they rejected 90 million from Saudi for him. So he's going to cost crazy money. And the guy's got 5 goals in 26 games now. So he averages a goal every 5 games in a team that's quite attacking. Pause for concern there, personally. Yeah, I think the presser might be tomorrow. So we might have a bit more information. Obviously, when we get any information, we'll be talking about it. Obviously, we do the preview later today. We'll see about Richie, mate. We'll see. We'll see. But look, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Go enjoy the rest of your mornings, afternoons, evenings, wherever you are in the world. Obviously, we'll be back later in about just under 7 hours' time to preview the Liverpool game. Thanks so much for joining me, everyone. I'll speak to you all then. Peace.